Hello everyone, Prince Feywood here, and I'm just gonna make a quick video that I promised I'd make, and I have a few more minutes in my night while I'm waiting for another video to upload. So I wanted to go over my overall casual general builds, kind of my go-to for most situations, I would say. When it comes to my go-to, I'm going into a mission, I don't know what to expect, going in by myself, this is what I bring with me. I use the mercenary system. I like to first start off by saying that I like to kind of cover all my bases, and I like to get as many bodies onto the board as possible with this particular build setup. I like to go with my main character being the ranger, mainly DPS, that's where I'll start. I've already gone over my build before, but for the sake of this entire video, I'm going to start here and then work my way outward. With my main ranger, I go with 16 marksmanship, 12 expertise, and 7 wilderness survival. I put the rest into inspiration magic, but really it doesn't have much of an effect. When it comes to my mesmer skills for inspiration, I'm only using it for ether signet, and I just need it for the bare minimum, so I use all my most important parts on my ranger abilities. First and foremost, my elite is my barrage. That's what I center my entire build around. Kind of like in Magic, when you have a commander, you center your deck, you build your deck around the commander. Same thing with an elite, at least for me, as I like to center all of my builds around what my elite does. For this main build here, which is just high DPS, short burst of DPS, kind of in the spirit of a soul beast, if you could say that. Or my soul beast is in the spirit of this build. On barrage, all your preparations are removed. Shoot arrows at target foe and up to 5 foes adjacent to your target. These arrows strike for 21 damage if they hit, or plus 21 damage if they hit. So very, very powerful bow attacks. The reason why this elite is so good is that it only costs 5 energy to use each time. So if I can manage my energy good enough, which ether signet helps me to do, is I can hit with barrage over and over and over again before running out of energy. What really helps with this is I'm going to skip on over here to my weapon, is my Zealous Stormbow of Fortitude. It has 1528 damage, requires 9 marksmanship, health plus 30, inscription plus 15% while health is above 50%, which is really great for this character because I like to stay away from combat, so a majority of the time I will be above 50%, so I will be hitting for the damage. The best part for this build is the energy gain on hit is 1, but the energy regeneration is -1. So what that means is that I'm gaining less energy over time, but I'm making up for it as long as I'm hitting my opponents, which when I hit with barrage, every time one of those hits, I gain energy. So that's how, as long as I'm hitting barrage at the right moments, whenever enemies are clustered up close enough, then I'm gaining back more energy than I'm losing. And then, lastly, damage plus 20% on that bow. I'll come back to the armor builds as I'm going through these skills here, but I want to kind of show where the relevance is according to my abilities. So the barrage is what this is based off of. My first ability is a Norn title track ability called I Am the Strongest. You've probably noticed in a lot of my videos, I'm just yelling randomly, I am the strongest. It's because, not because I'm boasting, but because that is my shout. And every time I do, I hit that ability, I get 8 attacks, or my next 8 attacks do an additional plus 20 damage. That's on top of the extra damage my bow does, and then also the extra damage my barrage does. So that's a lot of damage hidden in. What's really great about that in energy management, which I'm trying to get better at because I get in the habit of just hitting it over and over and over again, is if I hit I Am the Strongest before I ever get into combat, and I'm running up on a mob, I have time to regain that energy while it's just sitting there. It isn't on a timer like a lot of my other abilities. I always hit that. That's always my first on my rotation. My next one is actually a Ebon Vanguard title track ability. It is the Ebon Battle Standard of Honor. It is a ward spell. You plant an Ebon Battle Standard of Honor on your current location. For 20 seconds, non-spirit allies in this area strike for plus 15 damage and an additional plus 10 damage against Char. So that's, again, when I sit that down, I try to make sure I'm around a lot of my fellow friends. Sometimes I'll forget that it doesn't really affect spirits. One example being in the Caffeinated Dad stream I was in last night. It was just me and the spirit spammer that were alive at the time. Of course, I didn't bring a red signet like I should have. We went into the mission with henchmen. I should have brought a red signet. Either way, we went in solo, just me and him, to finish up the bonus. And it was to kill a whole bunch or 2 centaur commanders. But it was inside a centaur stronghold. Good thing it was on normal too, because we were able to wipe the floor with it, but I was throwing down this Ebon Battle Standard, and it just was not doing anything for the spirits, but it felt good, and at the time, I forgot. But anyways, we had no problems, we killed it, we did it, we were awesome, it was great. But with Ebon Battle Standard of Honor, it buffs all of my allies within that giant circle. Now, I forgot to mention, I am the strongest, costs 5 as well, 5 energy, so that's really good as well for energy management. Now, Ebon Battle Standard of Honor costs 10, so I have to make sure I'm hitting it at the right time, and I like to make sure that most of the time that I've already set down why I'm the strongest, because I want to make sure that my energy is at 25 when I start going down this line here. Not the end of the world if I isn't. If I go below 6, I can always hit myself with Ether Signet. So that's all that damage stacked on there. What's the creme de la creme? The amazing ability that brings it all together? That would be Lightning Reflexes. It's a stance, and for 10 seconds, you have 75% chance to block melee and projectile attacks, and you attack 33% faster. So, now, this is how the build goes. Actually, you know what? I'll go over how the build goes whenever I'm done, or at least the rotation, sorry. The rotation goes once I'm done explaining the rest of the abilities. This is Favorable Winds. Nature Ritual, create a level 11 spirit. For non-spirit creatures within its range, arrows move twice as fast and strike for plus 6 damage. This spirit dies after 158 seconds. So again, Favorable Winds also stacks onto all the other damage that I'm doing. Favorable Winds I won't use if we're moving really fast and I've got a lot of really strong allies. Because Favorable Winds does take a second to cast. It does cover a wide area, but usually I want to use Favorable Winds if we're in a mission that requires us to stay in one centralized location to defend a particular area, or I know that we're going to be running around in a circle. I'll cast Favorable Winds. That one is my Preparation Seal. Again, that costs 5. Lightning Reflexes costs 10. So I really want to try and keep in mind of what costs what. Favorable Winds, because of the casting time of it, it only costs 5 energy. Moving on to Ether Signet. If you have less than 6 energy, gain 11 energy. This it goes without saying, if I do my rotation, if I mess up my rotation, or if I'm in constant battle where I'm having to hit my I am the strongest and my Ebon Battle Standard to buff the group, and I'm down to 0, I'm down to or less than 6, Ether Signet, I'm back up, I'm back in the game, I can cast any of these 3 spells again, or I can just start barraging away for what's left. Whirling Defense Stance. This is an ability that Ether Signet costs no energy. That's another thing. Signets don't cost energy, that's why they're so good. So I'm basically getting energy for no energy. Alright, moving on. Whirling Defense. It's a stance for 18 seconds. You have 75% chance of block attacks. Whenever you block a projectile in this way, adjacent foes take 10 damage. So In a way, it is very much in the spirit of you're being attacked from all sides and projectiles are coming towards you. You're deflecting those projectiles and hitting them back at your foes. It's very much in the spirit of, or sorry, the whirling defense in Guild Wars 2 is very much in the spirit of Guild Wars 1 whirling defense. I love whirling defense. It's really great whenever I'm in a pinch. I use it on my run builds when I'm trying to run to particular areas. Whirling defense is great because I can hit it and it's very, very small chance. 25% chance I'm going to get hit. A lot of the times I'll be low on health, and that's what saves me. That's what gives me enough time to hit my next skill, which is Troll Engine. Now, Whirling Defense also costs 10. Troll Engine, which costs 5. Skill, for 13 seconds you gain plus 6 health regeneration. It's your everyday ranger heal skill. I like to have one heal on my main build, on any of my main builds. I like to have that self-reliance on myself when all my healers die. It was how I was able to solo with the Ritualist, or I should say double. It was a 6 party mission, but we were able to do it with 2 because I was able to heal myself. I also had the heals from the Ritualist, which was really great. Now, out of this build here, if I were to swap out anything, let's say I want to put a res signet and a run on here, it would be first favorable winds is the first thing I'd take out, just because I don't always use favorable winds. If I really need to res someone, I can use that center skill there. I'd probably move it to the end because I don't want to accidentally res with res signet on something that, well, isn't a monk. Typically, when the whole party dies, I want to res the monk so the monk can res everyone else. And Whirling Defense. Whirling Defense is probably the second item I would swap out if I'm confident enough that I won't need it. So how my rotation goes with my character here is, before ever getting into combat, I hit I am the strongest. And then once I see enemies, I will set up, get close enough to where I'll be in shooting range, and I'll hit my Evan Battle Standard of Honor. And right after that, Lightning Reflexes. As soon as I hit that, I'm going to hit Barrage over and over and over again. If I run low on energy, I'm going to hit Ether Signet. And before the battle even begins, I'm going to assess if I even need to use Favorable Winds. That's always before I go in. Do I need Favorable Winds? No. Then I'm going to go boom, boom, boom. And then these are just backup for defense. So that's typically how that one goes. Now that I've explained how the build works, we'll go over to how I have everything ruined. Now, keep in mind, guys, I have all of my mercenaries ruined how I like them, how I want them. A lot of them don't have the endgame weapons. I'm still working on getting some of their endgame weapons. That's a personal journey I'm on. I'm taking my time with it because in this game, you want to take your time with your own endgame progress because there is no more content coming out for it, so you make the most of what you're doing. So I am on a journey of getting some of these weapons, but I will show off the ones I do have weapons for and the ruins I have. So, on my headpiece, I have a Survivor Canthan Mask of Superior Marksmanship. It says 70 armor, marksmanship +1. It is all my armor is infused. You know, we always have to have our armor infused. Marksmanship +3, with a negative 75 health, +5 armor, and then +30 armor versus elemental damage. Moving on to my Survivor Elite Canthan Vest of Minor Expertise, +5 energy, armor 70, +15 health, expertise +1, and then armor +30 versus elemental damage. We're going to go to my Survivor Chaos Gloves of Superior Vigor, armor 70, +5 to health, +50 health non-stacking, and then the armor +30 versus elemental damage. Survivor Elite Canthan Leggings of Vita, armor 70, health plus 70, oh sorry, plus 10, health plus 10, energy recovery plus 1, and then armor plus 30 versus elemental damage. We have our Survivor Elite Canthan Boots of Minor Wilderness Survival. Armor 70, plus 5 health. Wilderness Survival plus 1, armor plus 30. So that's my main character build there. Now when it comes to my next topic of choice, it's my warrior. Now my warrior is an experimental build that I use. It's the exact same build I use on the warrior herself, which is my second main in the game. I rarely play on her, but really I haven't put much thought into this build besides I want a warrior that can teleport around. I want her to have a badass sword and shield. I didn't put as much work into it, and then I was just like, you know what, I'm just going to copy and paste this build onto her, and then I'll come up with a build that is more stable later. But how I have her marked is 16 swordsmanship, 13 strength, and then 3 tactics. Her elite is the 100 blades, which I talk about a lot. Elite skill for 15 seconds whenever you attack with a sword. All adjacent foes take 26 slashing damage. Her number 1 skill here is... oh yeah, and that is going to cost 5 energy, by the way. First skill on the bar is power attack, cost 5. Melee attack, if this attack hits, you strike for plus 36 damage. Then you have sever artery. If this attack hits, the opponent begins bleeding for 26 seconds, losing health over time. This uses adrenaline, which is what you build up over time, so it won't take energy. I have 2 adrenaline abilities. My next one would be gash. If this attack hits a bleeding foe, you strike for 21 more damage, and that foe suffers a deep wound, lowering that foe's maximum health by 20% for 21 seconds. So this goes hand in hand. What the sever artery is going to do is it's going to make them bleed, and then it's going to open up my gash, and then gash will then wound that opponent. I have sprint for 13 seconds. You move 25% faster. Of course, I've got to take that out of there. This is a mercenary, so I don't need her to run fast. I need her to follow, but I also like her to be at the very forefront of battle. Which, with a sprint, you don't really need a sprint when you have a teleport over here, which I'll go deeper into Dust Charge. Sprint costs 5. I am thinking about swapping it out for something else. If anyone has any suggestions, that would be great, but I'm planning on scrapping this entire build anyways for a new one, so there isn't much point in swapping it out right now. But if you do have a good idea, I'll throw it in there and give it a shot. My only assassin ability, which I forgot to mention, this is a warrior assassin, is my Death Charge. Shadow Step to target foe, cost 5. If that foe has more health than you, you are healed 65. So, you know, she usually, when you see me going in with my full mercenary party, you often will see her teleporting up in front and just getting in there with that melee damage. Again, I just want a warrior that can teleport that was blindfolded. I thought that was really badass, so I decided to go with that. Lion's Comfort. It is also, I believe, also adrenaline. All of your signets are disabled for 12 seconds. You are healed for 102 health, and you gain 3 strikes of adrenaline, so you gain adrenaline off of it. And then Endure Pain. For 17 seconds, you have an additional 272 health. So if she's going down, she's going to hit that, and she's going to pop back up. The weapons I have for her are the Runic Blade of Fortitude, 15 to 22 damage, requires 9 swordsmanship. Inscription, Strength, and Honor, damage plus 15% while health is above 50%, and health plus 30. And then she has a Shield of the Lion of Fortitude. It's just an armor 16. Requires 9 strength. Health plus 30. No inscription yet. So I've still got to work on that. Her runes are the Sentinel's, or her helm is the Sentinel's Warrior Mercenary Headpiece of Superior Swordsmanship. It is 23 to 80 armor, depends on level. Swordsmanship plus 1. Swordsmanship plus 3, minus 75 health, armor plus 20 versus physical damage, and then armor plus 20 requires 13 strength versus elemental damage. Then we have the Sentinel's Warrior Mercenary Badge of Attunement, 23 to 80, depends on level, plus 2 energy, armor plus 20 versus physical damage, and then armor plus 20 requires 13 strength versus elemental damage. When it comes to the Sentinels, I don't really like to use Sentinels. I'm thinking about pulling that off. When it comes to energy and energy management, you can't really depend on a hero or a mercenary to manage that very well. And then when it's just another plus 2 energy, so I might just end up going with another Sentinels. Actually, no, that's Sentinels. Never mind. I might be thinking of another one. Scrap that. Forget what I said. Keeping the Sentinels. It was something else that I had on this character. I may have already fixed it, actually, guys, so scrap that. I'm thinking of something else. Sentinels is the way I'm going with it. Never mind. Sentinel's Warrior Mercenary Gloves of Superior Absorption, 23 to 80, depends on level. Reduces physical damage by 3, non-stacking. Armor plus 20 versus physical damage, and then armor plus 20 requires 13 strength versus elemental damage. Sentinel's Warrior Mercenary Pants of Minor Strength, 23 to 80, strength plus 1, armor plus 20, physical damage, and you get the spiel. Sentinel's Warrior Mercenary Footwear of Major Vigor, 23 to 80 armor, health plus 41 non-stacking, armor plus 20 versus physical, and then armor plus 20 requires 13 strength versus elemental. So that's the build I have for her. Out of all of my mercenaries, guys, this is the one I put the least thought into. That's why I'm so confused about the Sentinels. Again, these were ruined years and years and years ago, and the skills were set years and years and years ago, so I'm still refiguring them out again. Of course, my main build for my character is what I remember the most, so as we do this video, I'm still figuring out a lot of it, but this one, probably the least developed, and the one I'm probably going to work on the most starting out. We're going to go on to Helena Arrowheart. She actually has my old Beastmaster build whenever I was a Beastmaster, so she has 16 Beast Mastery, followed by 11 Expertise, and then 9 Marksmanship. Her elite is Enraged Lunge. It is a PvP skill, and it costs 5. Your animal companion attempts an Enraged Lunge that deals plus 24 damage, maximum bonus 80 for each recharging Beast Mastery skill. So with Enraged Lunge, it's very important to stack out your entire build with as many Beast Mastery skills as you can, so you can get that recharging bonus. We're going to go over here. Scavenger Strike. It is a pet attack. Your animal companion attempts a Scavenger Strike that deals plus 26 damage. If the attack strikes a foe who is suffering from a condition, you gain 16 energy. Which, I'm going to let you guys know, a lot of these abilities that I do, especially with the Poisonous Bite, I think I had a few different ones on here. But the Poisonous Bite will definitely help. But if they're already having a condition, which is, it'll come from my Necromancer mostly, or my Necromancer mostly, she's going to get that bonus of that 16 energy. Also from her Poisonous Bite, which costs 5. Also a pet attack, your animal companion attempts a Poisonous Bite that poisons target foe for 21 seconds. So she ends up using this, and then she ends up using her Scavenger Strike. She's going to gain back 16 energy. Comfort Animal, PvP. You heal your animal companion for 110 health. If your companion is dead, it is resurrected with 61% health. Of course, we have to have that on there. Get some good heals. It is fantastic. We have Predatory Bond. PvP. It is a shout. For 21 seconds, successful attacks by your animal companion heal you for 33 health. Again, another healing spell. Call of Haste. Shout. For 30 seconds, your animal companion has a 25% faster attack speed. and moves 25% faster. So it speeds up those attacks, and that is more damage over time. And then we have Atuga's Cry. It is for 26 seconds. Your animal companion gains plus 24 armor and cannot be blocked. I can't stress how much I love this ability whenever I was using it on my character. It is good to know that, hey, for almost 30 seconds, you cannot block my companion, and it gets a little bit tougher. I was like, God, dude, that is... As I'm attacking him with my bow, I know my animal isn't gonna miss, or my pet's not gonna miss. That's great. And then we have Whirling Defense, which we've explained earlier. It's just gonna keep her out of the fire, because all of her abilities protect and heal and benefit her pet. She's not really gonna have anything to defend herself. So Whirling Defense is gonna be your best shot. Hey, I'm not gonna spend time healing. I'm just gonna hit this and not get hit. But the great thing about having a pet is, a lot of the time, they are getting the aggro off of yourself. So a lot of the time she is safe, and when she's not, she can just hit this Whirling Defense. I have the Zealous Azure Recurve Bow of Fortitude for her. It's a 15 to 28 damage, requires 9 marksmanship. Inscription, Strength, and Honor. It's basically, all of these are the same exact stats as my longbow. It's actually my character's old bow, Prince Feywood's old bow. I just threw it onto her. Really haven't put much thought into the weapon for her, besides getting her a bow. I'll definitely look more into it here. For her runes, on her headpiece, I have the Survivor Ranger's Mercenary Headpiece of Superior Beast Mastery. Armor 10 to 70, depends on level. Beast Mastery plus 1, stacking. Health plus 5. Beast Mastery plus 3, not stacking. Health minus 75, armor plus 30. So I'm gonna not squash this down. I'm going to make this a little bit faster, a little bit more efficient. Whenever I'm saying these, I'm not gonna say the whole thing. I'm just gonna say survivors. Or for the chest, it's survivors, minor expertise, plus 5 energy, plus 15 health, plus 1 expertise, and plus 30 versus elemental damage. I have a Survivor's Gloves of Vita, plus 5 health, plus 10 health, plus 30 armor versus elemental damage. I have the Survivor's Major Vigor for the leggings. That's plus 10 health, plus 41 health, energy plus 1, and then armor plus 30 versus elemental damage. And then we're going to have the Survivor Boots of Minor Marksmanship. That is plus 5 health, plus 1 marksmanship, plus 30 elemental damage. Alright, moving on to the juicy stuff, the ones that really make the show. It's going to be my monks. The first one's going to be Modiko Healspire. She is my healing monk. She has 16 healing prayers, 13 divine favor, and 3 protection prayers. Her job is to mainly focus on the healing, the overall healing of my party, and I'm going to call this a reactive build. And the reason why I bring up reactive is because my other monk is going to be a proactive, and I'll tell you the difference as we go through. So my reactive monk, which is my healing prayers, her elite is Blessed Light. It costs 10. Heal target ally for 123 health and removes 1 condition and 1 hex. So all in all, you get a large health boost, and you get to remove conditions. That is, again, super valuable. You're going to get hit with a lot of hexes, conditions, as much removal as you can get. That's the way to go. We use Words of Comfort. Target ally is healed for 63 health and an additional 47 health if that ally is suffering from a condition. Duena's Kiss costs 5. Heal target other ally for 63 health and an additional 37 health for each enchantment or hex on that ally. So either way, either way, you're going to get some good healing from this, because either A, they're going to be enchanted, B, they're going to be hexed by an enemy, or 3, they're not going to have anything, and they're still going to have 63 health coming their way. It's a win-win. Buenos Kiss is absolutely amazing, and it only costs 5 energy. You can't beat that. Healing Ribbon, it costs 10 energy. Target other ally is healed for 116 health. Up to 2 additional allies near target ally are healed for 106 health. So, an AoE heal. As the name implies, it's a ribbon of healing that flows around, just touching everyone around them, or at least 2 allies around them. So you heal one person, heal in a cluster. It's basically the barrage of heals. You have your friends grouped up. You have your heroes typically grouped up. You heal one for 116 health. The 2 others, 106 health. Even if they don't need it, they got that heal. Healing Seed. For 10 seconds, whenever target other ally takes damage, that ally and all adjacent allies gain 32 health. Again, it is an AoE heal that rewards you for getting hit. You know, you're getting hit, you're still gaining health, which will oftentimes be more healing than damage, or just enough to where you're still making a net gain of health. Healing Breeze. For 15 seconds, target ally gains plus 9 health regeneration. So that's health over time. If you need to heal someone constantly, especially if it's against a hex over time, poison over time, anything like that, this is going to actively slow it down, if not heal you above it, depending on how much you're getting, how much you're losing. Rebirth. This is my favorite, absolute favorite resurrection spell. Resurrect target party member. Target party member is returned to life with 25% health and 0 energy, and is teleported to your current location. All of target's skills are disabled for 9 seconds. This spell consumes all your remaining energy. Now, it does sound like there's a lot of downsides to that, but the only thing you need to worry about is this line right here. It is teleported, your resurrected party member is teleported to your current location. I'm going to explain why this is so good and why those other things are worth giving up. Is because when you typically resurrect someone, it is in a dire situation where they're in the middle of a mob. And when they res in that spot, 2 things happen. Either they die immediately, just by getting mauled to death before they can even move, or they lead the enemies to you as they run back to you. You have to kind of flag them away, and then when you flag them away, they're just going to get chased down and killed. So, to be able to resurrect someone to your location means that you can resurrect people selectively to you to rebuild your party and to not incur a all-out wipe. It is so good. I can't stress how good this ability is. No matter how I mess around with these builds, my monk is always going to have rebirth. At least my healing monk. Always. Then we have Vigorous Spirit, enchantment spell. For 30 seconds, each time target ally attacks or casts a spell, that ally is healed for 21 health. Again, rewarding your allies for just doing things, either taking damage, from the other ability, just by being around someone, by having conditions, and then by healing them when they attack. I love this build, guys. I know I'm probably going to throw around a whole bunch of builds and test things out, but this is a solid, very solid monk build here. I have her as a monk elementalist, but as you can see, I don't really use anything elementalist. It just so happens to be the secondary I have for her. She is 100% pure healing monk. Now, as far as her holy staff, it's nothing special. I've got to work on it. It is a holy staff, energy plus 10, fire damage 11 to 22, requires 9 divine favor, half skill recharge spells, chance plus 10%, energy plus 3 while enchanted, and then plus 20% damage. She has her headpiece is a survivor headpiece of superior healing prayers. It has 3 to 60 armor, depends on level. So I would say, 60 armor. I'm just going to say their max. Healing prayers plus 1, stacking. Health plus 5. Healing Prayers plus 3, non-stacking. Health minus 75. I have a chest piece of Survivor Monk's Badge of Vita, energy plus 5, 60 armor, plus 15 health, plus 10 health. Survivor Monk's Gloves of Vita, plus 5 energy, 60 armor, plus 5 health, plus 10 health. Survivor Monk's Pants of Major Vigor, 60 armor, plus 10 health, plus 41 health, non-stacking, energy recovery plus 1. And then I have the Survivor Monk's Footwear of Minor Divine Favor, 60 armor, plus 5 health, Divine Favor plus 1, non-stacking, and then energy recovery plus 1. Now, I know they make the better runes and such for, not runes, it's the insignias. For monks, I have to look into it more. Again, these were runes a long time ago when I was like, survivors is everything. I want to have more health, more health, more health. Now, in that time, I have put on better, like this one right here, Sentinels. I have messed around a bit with it over some of the other ones because you can kind of tell which ones I haven't even touched since I first started runing and putting insignias on these by the ones who have survivors on them. Some of them have survivors just because I want survivors, like my main. I want my main to have survivors. That's great. But certain classes have specific insignias that are just better for that class. And you'll see, one of the examples being my necromancers have the class-specific insignias, and so does my spirit spammer. But we'll get to them in time. We're going to go on to my next monk, which is her sister, Masato Healspire. She is my protection monk, and she is my proactive monk. And at the end of the monk explanations here, I will go over the difference between the proactive and the reactive monk. I have 16 protection prayers, 12 divine favor, and 6 healing prayers. Her elite is Shield of Regeneration. It costs 15, so it's very, very pricey, but for 14 seconds, target ally gains plus 10 health regeneration and armor and 40 armor. So it really buffs you up, and then you get plus 10 health regeneration for 14 seconds. So over time, you're gaining health and you're tougher. That is definitely worth 15 energy. Reversal of Fortune. For 8 seconds, the next time target ally would take damage or lifesteal, that ally gains that amount of health instead, maximum 84. What's really great about that is that keyword lifesteal there, that helps my necros so much. You'll be able to steal health and then gain more health. That's awesome. It just rewards you for gaining health by giving you more health. Shield of Absorption. For 7 seconds, oh yeah, and that one costs 5. Shield of Absorption also costs 5. For 7 seconds, damage received by target ally is reduced by 5 each time the ally is hit while under the effects of this enchantment. So, what that means is, so every time damage is received by my friend, it's reduced by 5 each time the ally's hit. So, every time they're hit, it just gets weaker and weaker and weaker and weaker for 7 seconds. So if you're getting hit with a barrage of stuff from all sides for 7 seconds, those attacks are getting weaker, which gives you more, my reactive monk time, Modoko, time to react and heal in reaction to the proactive monk's ability, which is the Shield of Absorption. Mend Ailment. Remove 1 condition: poison, disease, blindness, daze, bleeding, crippled, burning, weakness, cracked armor, or deep wound from target ally. For each remaining condition, that ally is healed for 74 health. So, condition removal, again, very, very, very important. And that just goes without saying. I don't think I have to explain that one. You want condition removal, especially in endgame. Protective Spirit. Cost 10. For 24 seconds, target ally cannot lose more than 10% max health due to damage from a single attack or spell. That's almost 30 seconds of protection. That goes on no matter what. Gift of Health. All of your other healing prayer skills are disabled for 8 seconds. Target other allies healed for 69 health. Now, what's great about that is on a typical healing build, this ability, Gift of Health, would not be very good on my healing monk. But on my protection monk, who only has one other healing ability, this is fantastic. This is basically target other ally is healed for 69 health, and only this is disabled. This next one for 8 seconds, which the next one is a 10 cost resurrection chant. So you're probably not going to need that resurrection chant for 8 seconds, and if you do, you'll know within that 8 seconds. Cost 10, resurrection chant. Resurrect target party member with up to your current health and 17% energy. This spell has half the normal range, so you have to be a little bit closer when you use it. But if your health is at max, you heal that. You can heal them up to your current health, and then 17 energy on top of that. So it gets them set up with almost full amount of heal every time. And then, hey, 17 energy to spend on that enemy that they're going against. And then we have a Glyph of Lesser Energy. For 15 seconds, your next 2 spells cost 10 less energy to cast. So using this, all these very expensive spells that this particular build has, especially your Shield of Regeneration. So she's going to use, which I would hope, I need to inspect how they're using these, but if I were using it, I would hit my Glyph of Lesser Energy every time I tried to cast Shield of Regeneration, or my Resurrection Chant, Protective Spirit. So that's really good for all the really pricey spells on this list. For the weapon, again, nothing special, just a Protective Rod, 10 to 17 damage, 7 Divine Favor required. Have skill recharge of spells, chance 10%, and then plus 20% damage. She also has a protective icon, which is energy plus 12, requires 12 protection prayers, and then have skill recharge of spells, chance 8%. So 8% of the time, when my skills recharge individually, they'll have an 8% chance of being halved. So very small chance, but it's the icon I got. She has a survivor. Basically, it's what she has here is the inverse of my other monks when it comes to, instead of healing, it's protection. She has a survivor. I'm gonna speed this along even further, guys. She has a survivor monk's headpiece of superior protection. She has a survivor monk's badge of Vita. She has a survivor monk's gloves of Vita. She has survivor monk's pants of major vigor, and then she has her survivor monk's footwear of minor divine favor. I want to get along to what I consider a proactive and a reactive monk. Now, a proactive monk, which is my protection monk, she's constantly casting her protection spells to buff my party to protect them from what's coming. So it's buffing them up, getting them tough and strong, and then making it to where there's certain perks that they get from just doing things. They're basically just toughening them up to get prepared for battle. My reactive monk, Motoko, is going to be healing them in response to things happening. So she does have a few things that she can throw on and have over time, but really my Misato's jumping in there, she's making sure everyone's good to go, and then Motoko's going in there and making sure everyone stays that way. Alright, on to the fun necromancers. First one is the Key to Pandora. She has 10 death magic, 10 restoration magic, and oh yeah, let me go back to Misato real quick. She's also a monk elementalist. Forgot to mention that. Key to Pandora. She is a necromancer ritualist. She has 14 death magic, 12 restoration magic, and then 9 soul reaping. As you can see, a lot of her abilities are they're going to be the ritualist abilities. Now, Naomi also has a lot of ritualist abilities because she is a ritualist. So it was very important when doing these builds that I didn't have them overlap, because as you know with ritualists, if you summon the same spirit as another ritualist, it'll cancel out the other spirit. So you have to be very careful when making your builds in that way. Her elite is Discord. It's a PvP ability. Cost 5. If target foe is suffering from a condition and under the effects of a hex or an enchantment, that foe suffers 105 damage. So it's going to, a lot of the times, they're going to be stacked on with a whole bunch of things from Malik, a lot of curses, a lot of poisons, stuff like that. This is going to also do an additional 105 damage because they're under the effects. She has Animate Shambling Horror, cost 15. Exploit nearest corpse to create a level 16 Shambling Horror. Whenever the Shambling Horror dies, it is replaced by a level 14 Jagged Horror that causes bleeding with each of its attacks. So it's a horror that comes back after the horror. It does cause bleeding as well, which is a great condition that goes along with Discord. Weapon of Warding, PvP ability. It's a weapon ward, so it's a weapon spell, so it'll enhance a weapon. For 7 seconds, target ally has a weapon of warding, granting that ally plus 4 health regeneration and a 50% chance to block. Weapon of warding ends if the ally attacks. A very lovely ability to have. I thought it'd be nice to be able to throw them on in addition to my healer's abilities to heal. A little bit extra healing. And you get a 50% chance to block, so it really helps both of my monks out. Protective was Kaolai, and 10 energy, item spell. Hold Kaolai's ashes for up to 51 seconds. While you hold his ashes, you gain 10 armor. When you drop his ashes, all party members are healed for 70 health. So this is fantastic, guys. That's why you'll see her hauling ashes around a lot. It's because no matter what, it's going to be putting in the work. If you're holding onto them, you have 10 armor, but then you can go right in the middle of your allies who are losing a lot of health, you drop it, and they're healed 70 health. That can mean all the difference when it comes to a party wipe. It really can. Spirit Light, 17%. Can't remember what that means. And then 5 energy. Target allies heal for 156. If any spirits are within earshot, you don't sacrifice health. Okay, so I think you lose 17% health. And then if any spirits are within earshot, you don't sacrifice health. This is really great because we have a spirit spammer with us, and a majority of the time, a spirit's going to be within earshot. So she's only going to benefit from this. Mend Body and Soul, it costs 5. Target ally is healed for 96 health. That ally loses 1 condition for each spirit within earshot. Again, lots of spirits around because of Naomi. This goes hand in hand with my spirit spammer. Life, PvP, Binding Ritual. Create a level 8 spirit. When this spirit dies, all non-spirit allies within its range are healed for 6 health for each second this spirit was alive. This spirit dies after 20 seconds. Again, lots of spirits around. Masochism. 5 energy. For 30 seconds, you gain 2 energy whenever you sacrifice health. So again, energy recovery. Her ability is Avar's Scepter. Cold damage 11 to 22. Requires 9 death magic. Halves casting time of death magic skills by a chance of 20%, and then halves skill recharge of death magic spells, chance 20%. This scepter I just so happened to have. I can't remember what boss I had it for, but I just found it not too long ago. I was like, you know what? It's better than what she had. I'm gonna throw it on her. She also has a Grim Cesta. Energy plus 12 requires 11 death energy, so she's got extra energy, and then armor plus 5 while enchanted. Her helm is a Bloodstained Necromancer's headpiece of superior death magic, a Minion Master's mercenary badge of Vita, a Minion Master's mercenary gloves of Vita, a Minion Master Necromancer's mercenary pants of minor soul reaping, and Minion Master Necromancer's footwear of major vigor. Now, she only makes the one shambling horror, but what's really great about this is because of the Minion Masters that she has on her, the insignia, it says plus 5 armor while you control 1 or more minions, plus 5 armor while you control 3 or more minions, and then plus 5. So all those stack onto each other. The more minions she has, or she controls, the more armor she's gonna get. Now, the thing is, she's only gonna ever have, I think she can do this multiple times. We usually have exploit nearest corpse, create 16 Shambling Horror when Shambling Horror dies. I think she can keep doing this over and over and over again, and when those die, so those are constantly going to stack onto each other. Now, please let me know if I should swap out those Minion Masters on this character, since she doesn't make that many minions. She's mostly she's more of a spirit spammer. Not spirit spammer, but a ritualist than anything. But she's kind of a hybrid there, and she makes quite a few shambling horrors along with the other necromancers. So we'll see. I like having that on there. It's a little extra benefit and extra armor. She holds up pretty well. Alright, moving on to the Reign of Malik. He has 16 death magic, 9 soul reaping, 5 healing prayers, and 9 protection prayers. He is a necromancer monk. His main ability is his Discord. You know what that does. But he also puts on a lot of these here enchantment spells, so it's gonna really help Discord out. He casts Putrid Bile. For 21 seconds, target foe suffers -3 health degeneration. If that foe dies while under the effects of this hex, all nearby foes take 89 damage. Animate bone minions. Exploit nearest corpse to animate 2 level 13 bone minions. That's 15 energy. Death Nova. For 30 seconds, if target ally dies, all adjacent foes take 105 damage and are poisoned for 15 seconds. So, if he sees someone about to go down, he's going to cast Death Nova on them, and then it's going to mean bad news for whoever's around that fallen ally. Protective Spirit. For 16 seconds, target ally cannot lose more than 10% max health. Oh yeah, we've read this one before. So health due to damage from a single attack or spell. Aegis. Enchantment spell. For 2 seconds, target other party members cannot be the target of hostile spells, and attacks against this party member fail. Dwayne's Sorrow. For 30 seconds, target ally and all nearby allies are enchanted with Dwayne's Sorrow. If an ally dies while under the effects of Dwayne's Sorrow, your party is healed for 20. And then Masochism. For 30 seconds, you gain true energy whenever you sacrifice health. So this is a lot of benefits from your friends dying, and also he's only going to have that one minion spell, but just combined with Pandora and Malik, they create so many minions together that they really do get that benefit from the insignias that they both have, which we'll get back to that there. We're going to go over to the weapon, Halebone Staff of Defense. Half skill recharge of spells, chance 20%, energy plus 10, cold damage 11 to 21, which requires 11 death magic, plus 23 health, plus 5 armor, and then plus 20% damage. He has Bloodstained Necromancer's headpiece of superior death magic. He also has Minion Master's Mercenary Badge of Vita, Minion Master's Mercenary's Glove of Vita, Minion Master's Necromancer's Mercenary Pants of Major Vigor, and then Minion Master's Necromancer's Mercenary Footwear of Minor Soul Reaping. So he's also going to get all those benefits, just like Pandora does from having so many of those minions, and they can cast these over and over and over again. Alright, going on to the last and final one, my newest of all of these. This is the only... Naomi, Siren Song is the only mercenary I have created, or hero I've created since being back, and so I put a lot more recent thought into this particular character. This build was actually given to me... I can't remember if this build was given to me by the Wolf King, but usually this is a good one. Try this out, but I'm not sure. I'll have to go by with that with him and see. I don't think it was, because he uses a Dervish Ritualist build, so I don't think this is the one he gave me. He did give me one a while ago, though. Alright, so we have 16 Channeling Magic, 13 Communing, and then 3 Restoration Magic. She has Signet of Spirits. It's a PvP ability, Elite Signet. And it is a Signet, so it won't cost any energy. You gain 13 energy if you are within earshot of a spirit. So she casts her spirits, and then she just hits that to regain the energy. Let's take a look at some of those. Flesh of My Flesh, cost 5. Lose half your health. Resurrect target party member with your current health and 8% energy. Again, another character will resurrect. Can always use more resurrection or support for the entire party. Agony, 10 energy. Create a level 8 spirit. This spirit causes 10 health loss each second to foes within earshot. This spirit loses 10 health for each foe hurt in this way. This spirit dies after 94 seconds. Also have a life spirit here. Now this life spirit is the only one that she and the key to Pandora share. But it isn't the end of the world that they cast those at the same time. Either way, we're going to have that life spirit up. So I figured that would be the one that we doubled up on. If there was any spirit I'd want to double up on, it would be life. Create a level 3 spirit. When the spirit dies, all non-spirit allies within its range are healed for 2 health for each second the spirit was alive. This spirit dies after 20 seconds. So if this works the way I think it does, let's say Pandora casts a life spirit. The worst thing that's going to happen is that Naomi is also going to cast a health spirit. One of those spirits is going to die, and then you're going to get all non-spirit allies within its range are healed for 2 health for each second this spirit was alive. This spirit dies after 20 seconds. So it may just start that particular chain of events a little bit earlier, because 20 seconds, I believe, is how long it lasts. But let's say it's 10 seconds and then she casts and then it's down, they're going to gain that health. If anything, it's making it where my characters are gaining more health faster at the worst possible scenario. So it's the one ability where I'm like, you know what? They can share that spirit. We're going to move on to Blood Song. Create a level 8 spirit who dies after 158 seconds. Attacks by that spirit steal up to 26 health. Pain. Create a level 7 spirit. This spirit's attack steals 27 damage. This spirit dies after 134 seconds. And of course my favorite, Ether Signet. This is what I decided to use for her energy management. Very much like my main character here, Prince Feywood. But hers says if you have less than 5 energy, gain 10 energy. It's because she has less in Inspiration Magic, which is she doesn't have any in Inspiration Magic. But it's still a really good ability. I probably could take out of, let me see here. Nah, I want to keep that in Restoration Magic. Never mind, that'll stay where it's at. And then finally, Shadow Song. Create a level 5 spirit. This spirit's attacks deal 18 damage and cause blindness for 5 seconds. This spirit dies after 30 seconds. So we're going to go over here. Now, this staff I just so happened to pick up not too long ago. I've got to get her a better staff because she's so new. It is a Char Slayer communing staff. Plus 10 energy, 11 to 22 damage. Requires 9 communing, which she does have. have skill recharge of spells, chance plus or 20%, damage plus 20% versus char, and there's no inscription on it yet because simply I don't think I'm gonna keep that staff. It's just something for her to hold. She also has the class specific insignias, which is the shamans, I believe is what it is. It's Shaman Ritualist Mercenary, yeah. So she carries the Shaman Ritualist Mercenary headpiece of superior channeling magic. She has the channel magic plus 1, the channeling magic plus 3, health minus 75, but the armor does something very similar to that the Minion Masters does. And it's whenever you control one or more spirits, you get plus 5 health. So these are all going to stack. All of those are going to stack. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. So every time she has a spirit, she's going to get 25 armor. When she has 2, it's going to double. And when she has 3, it's going to double off of that. So it's very good to have if you're a spirit spammer. Our chest piece, it's a Shaman's Mercenary Badge of Vida, Shaman's Mercenary Gloves of Vida, Shaman's Ritualist Mercenary Pants of Major Vigor, and then Shaman's Ritualist Mercenary Footwear of Minor Communing. And that is all of my 8. When it comes to just, and guys, again, this is not a specific, it's going to take on the world. It's just mainly made to, yeah, it can take on a lot of the hard mode missions. I made it to where it can take on everything in normal mode and a lot of things in hard mode, just generally. And what's great about this particular setup that I have is that I can swap out and change whatever I want depending on the situation. I don't have to swap them all out, but this is just something these are all my characters I'm playing with. So when it comes to these, I want my characters to have these particular abilities. And I don't really want to swap them out a bunch. I do like the fact that we have the heroes that I can do that with. When making specific builds for different situations, and learning each mission and what's to come with each mission and playing around with that, I'm going to do the heroes. But when it comes to my mercenaries, this is where I typically want to keep them, because this is how I want my characters to kind of play in my imagination of being like coming up with backstories as I'm making these characters. And these are all characters I played with. But being able to play with them on a cohesive team and making their builds work that I already had preset, I think it works. It does take care of a lot of things. There's a lot of bodies on the board. I have a lot of minions. I've got a lot of spirits. I've also got a Beastmaster, which is another body. And then I've got 2 really good healers. And then I have a couple of my mercenaries that can heal if need be. I will be working on it a bit, just kind of fine-tuning it, but it really isn't made to do one specific thing. It's just made to do a broad, let's go in and just get as many bodies onto the board as possible. I am very, very excited, though. I'm glad we can get this shown off here and explained away, because I am very much looking forward into getting into the hero scene again, with going through each individual mission and working out builds to perfect those missions, just like Tar Heel did. That is such a cool idea. I can't stress it enough. I know I've said it in almost every video since I've read his comments. It's such a good idea. But I wanted to show off what I kind of use every day, what I'm getting familiar with, and learning about these builds that I didn't know before. Because some of it doesn't make sense, especially when it comes to the types of weapons I use. So, but it does work for right now. And if you guys have any suggestions, any comments, anything I'm doing wrong, if I'm stacking the armor wrong, if you have a better suggestion on insignias or runes that I could use on some of these better, please let me know. I'm open to making my gameplay better, and in turn making myself better at the game. This game is 2005, and I've been playing it for this long, but there's still growth that can be had, and as long as there's growth to be had and my gameplay can get better, I'm going to keep playing, and I'm going to keep loving it for what it is, and that's the greatest game I've ever played. Thank you all for joining me on this fantastic journey. You guys have a fantastic day.